This is a concern to us, but it's not new to us.
I felt his message was we better get used to it. My reaction is exactly the opposite.
Last week, Winnipeg's chief of police said the recent violent crimes that have been experienced at the Forks are on par for what Winnipeg usually sees every year. Words that an advocate agrees with, but says needs to change.
Danny's right in that we have, normalized this very high level of violent crime. Hey, this is crisis time. This is time we've got to really move hard, change normal procedures, and look at how do we deal with all these people who have guns and knives that are hurting people.
Community advocate Sel Burrows says he would have liked to have heard a more succinct strategy come from Chief Smyth's statement, especially since violent crime as a whole is up 5% this year compared to 2020 numbers.
The police need to connect better with the citizenry. People know who's carrying guns, people know who's carrying knives, people know who are taking young girls to sexual appointments. They've got to make it easier for people to connect with the police and give them information without asking them a whole bunch of intrusive questions, which people in the inner city aren't comfortable answering.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
Bear Clan's Kevin Walker says people are struggling to make ends meet, and more resources are part of the answer to reduce crime.
Just in the north end, we have a food distribution hub where we feed 600 to 700 people daily at the door. So you take that out of the community, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on people to be able to afford to eat. If you can't afford to feed your family, you're going to resort to some desperate measures to feed them.
Although Burrows agrees more resources are needed, he says the guns and knives are here and police are the only people that can deal with that, and the police have to adjust tactics and utilize what Winnipeggers can offer to start reducing violent crime each year.
We've got a whole bunch of private sector actors that could bring another 1,000 eyes on the street, including security guards, taxi drivers, caretakers of apartment blocks. All of those could be brought to bear to identify criminals before they actually act in a serious criminal manner.
Dr. Kelly Gorkoff is the Criminal Justice Department chair at the University of Winnipeg. She says Smyth's right in that these crimes aren't new, just more visible since they happened at the Forks. In a statement, she says perhaps Mr. Smyth should have added that city and provincial governments need to address poverty rates, livable income, safe housing, youth supports, etc., which will go a long way in reducing these types of crimes. Winnipeg has recorded 27 homicides in 2022, putting the city on track for another record year. In Winnipeg, Mike Albanese, City News.